Hello, welcome back. Holy snow, Batman. Yesterday, kind of warm. Almost all the snow was melted. And then today, bam, everything's covered in snow again. And it's actually really yucky snow. Sloppy snow. Scary driving into work this morning. All right. I guess this might be YouTube talk, I guess. I watched a video yesterday. It was a guy. It wasn't so much about what was in the video, like the content. I think it was modern cars, how older cars are better, sort of thing. He had an old 911 he was driving around, like from the 80s. Nice cars, I guess. The thing is that I liked his video. It was much like this. He was talking to the camera like this. He did some cuts and did some shots of the car, which is kind of, when I saw the video, it was pretty much what I had in my mind of what I kind of wanted to do when I first thought of doing YouTube. Maybe I'll find the video and maybe I'll put the video link in the description if I remember. But there's one thing that about the YouTube video thing that I've really learned is trying to not trying to, but working better at keeping the pace moving. I'm not really doing it now because I'm really thinking a lot on this one because I haven't prepared anything. I really didn't prepare this idea at all. I really didn't think about it in advance. I just sort of hit record here and I'm kind of talking about it. And I'm probably boring the pants off everybody. Deep in concentration. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there's a big mess up here. Bunch of cars, hazard lights. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody in trouble? Yeah, somebody's in trouble. They lost a tire, flat tire. I was driving yesterday. I drove this entire, seniors group. There was two buses of them. I was driving one. Went to the city and back, and like I think we counted six cars on the side of the road with flat tires. Like even like the I had somebody with me, like a co-driver sort of thing, a co-pilot, and she said that. I'm like, look, there's another one. And she goes, oh my god, that's like six. I've never seen so many on the side of, and they were all for flat tires. There wasn't no because they were broken down in the motor or anything like that. Just flat tires. Either the car was sitting there with the tire off on a jack stand, or it was sitting there on the side of the road with a flat tire on it, or there was somebody there changing it. Like I think there was two people that were in the midst of changing a tire. And there again, like today, just one person doing it on the side of the road. Like, wow. Flat tires do suck. And I think I explained the hard time I had getting a tire for this car, for this Hornet. That's, maybe I should do a video about that, buying a first round car. Because there's people that do it all the time. Get the first brand new, whatever it is. I gotta close the gate. Maybe I'll close it after. It's too snowy. I think I'll close it after. Come out later and do it. Yeah, maybe I should make a video on that because I've done it a couple of times. It's not for the faint of heart. And you have to know going in, like, you're buying something that's not going to be good. It's going to break down. It's going to have bugs. Things are going to go wrong on it, you know. Which is funny because when I got the Hornet here and I went onto the Hornet owners forum, and there was people on there that had been, that had waited a year to get their car, 6 months, 8 months, things like that. And they finally got it, and then the launch of this car was nothing but trouble. There was trouble at the dealer. There was trouble with the car. There was trouble with Dodge. There was trouble with training techs. There was all kinds of trouble. Cars were coming with missing parts. One guy ended up with two start buttons. The auto engine off button. No, what was it? So we have a start button here on the console, and we have a sport button on the steering wheel. But he had a sport button, so his sport button on his steering wheel was a start button as well. It said start, and this was start. Or was it the auto off button? Because right below the start button is an auto off button. The engine off button was out a start button. I can't remember. I'd have to go look on the forum again. But I mean, stuff like that. Cars were showing up. These overhead lights weren't working. There was all kinds of problems. But stuff like that happens with brand new version, brand new cars. Like, I don't mean every new car, but I'm saying a brand new vehicle that's never been seen before, right? They've designed it, they did some testing on it or whatever it is, they threw it together and they threw it out to the public to sell it, and they're asking us to troubleshoot it so that they don't have to do that, spend the time and money to do that. They want us to buy it and fund you know, the troubleshooting. And the Hornet thing still isn't good because I got a email message on my email from the Hornet forum. Some guy posted again on the worst car out there thread saying he's given up and walking away from his Hornet. He had it for like 24 days or 28 days or something like that. And for 20 of, no, yeah, it was like 24 days. And for 20 of those days, it was in the shop. And that was a common story with a lot of these Hornets, half of them anyway, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, still working. Yeah, it's still out there. But the thing is that, like, I was driving through town one night was it last week? I think it was last week. I was coming home from my second job, and there was another Hornet in town driving around. Like, there was a Hornet that was on the lot. It was actually a really nice one. It was a, I don't know what the color called, but it was a dark gray. But it had a track pack and it had the heated or the winter package or the cold weather package on it. And I was like, ooh, that's a nice one. If I would have bought it. It was a whole lot cheaper than this one that I bought. But I was like, ooh, that's a good looking one, and it would be a fun one. And if I won the lottery, I probably would have went and bought it. Absolutely, I would have probably gave my daughter this one and maybe took that one. I don't know, something like that. I would definitely, if I had the money, I would probably buy another Hornet. That's how fun this car is. I did that. I did that with the Odyssey. That was a fun van. It was like for what I needed it for, but I thought it was an amazing vehicle. It was super reliable, had a super tight turning radius. It was quick, it was responsive. I enjoyed driving it. I get into Grand Caravans and stuff like that, and I'm like, what a piece of junk. Like how do people who don't like driving drive these things? No wonder people hate minivans because they're all crap. But my Odyssey, I loved it. I loved it. Remote doors, smuggling compartments. I was over the moon in that thing. The thing was like the Millennium. I called it my Millennium Falcon. I swear to God, I liked it so much I bought another one. Yeah, but would I buy another Hornet? I would. I'd be really. I would. Would I buy another Jag? I would. Another XK8. Ah, that's a tough one. They're really old now. I need a lot of money for that because we need a lot of fixing up. It was a nice car though. Another Camry. Mm, I mean, it was nice, but it was kind of an appliance. It really was. It wasn't a real driver's car. Looked really good. Everything worked on it. It was really nice vehicle to use. Don't get me wrong. Like buy a Camry. Amazing on gas. I couldn't believe how good it was on gas. Well, would I buy another one? I was like, I'm going to be spending that kind of money. Do I want it on a Camry? Like, I don't know. I should ask people what their dream cars are too. I think my daughter asked me that, or maybe it was my buddy. Like a childhood dream car. Mine was a Lotus Esprit. It was. Saw it in enough movies. It was way. I thought before the Countach, before I even saw the Countach, it was in the James Bond movie a couple of times. It was in the what was that stupid movie? Richard Gere and what's her face, the Hooker Show, and he was driving an Esprit. I remember going into Silverstone in the city, and that's what Buddy had one. He owned the shop, but he had an Esprit that was his personal, driver sort of thing. And he had it under a cloth and go in the shop and pull it off and we'd look at it. And I was always amazed with that car. And then when I was doing my magazine, one of the guys in the office, he was a Lotus fan. I didn't know that. I didn't even know the guy was into cars, but I would see this Esprit. It was a John Player Special, black and gold. And as a kid, I had like a Hot Wheels set with the rig. It was the tractor trailer and a trailer with the Lotus Formula One car on it, and it was the John Player special paint job, right? It was the black and the gold, and I saw that car a few times in Edmonton. I was like, "Ooh, that's really nice." And then he took me for a ride in it, and then I went and did a write up on it for the magazine. And that, I would like a Lotus. I would, even after Ford bought it, even after Ford took over, and they did the plastic bucket exterior, it would still have the world's smallest V8, twin turbo. Like the cars, that little car looked amazing. I'm surprised they haven't tried to replicate it again because it looked like a spaceship. Anywho, another junky weird car talk video. Yeah, I hope you like it and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like I was thinking, yeah, dude, childhood favorite cars. That'd be a good one. Ask people. Childhood favorites. Like why in a spree? There were amazing cars when I was growing up. Like the Vector, the like I said, the Countach. Childhood dream cars. The General Lee. I remember that. Oh yeah. Whew. Anyway, I'm not gonna start. I'm gonna end the video. Like and subscribe. Say in the comments, maybe. I will do maybe what's your favorite childhood car for sure. Maybe on the next one. If I remember. I'm old. I'm getting dementia. I'll see you in the next one.